Hey everyone, welcome to the KE Report and a company update from Novo Resources. We are going to be recapping multiple project acquisitions that the company has announced just in the last week. 3 projects in total covering Western Australia and New South Wales. I'm going to be asking management where these projects stand in terms of priority order for exploration. We'll go through what work has been done on these assets. I am chatting with Mike Spreadborough, Executive Co-Chairman of Novo Resources. Company is traded on the TSX under the symbol NVO, on the OTCQX under the symbol NSRPF, and on the Australian Exchange under the symbol NVO. Now, Mike, the company building land positions. All these acquisitions are earn-in agreements, all to get to a 70-30 JV joint venture where Novo would hold the 70% interest, all through stages of some share issuances and exploration work. Let's first just talk about this strategy of adding to Novo's already large land package in Australia. Mike, why bring in these projects now to add to your portfolio?
Yeah, good to catch up with Cory. So I think most people would be aware that we've had a very large land package that was built, 4 or 5 years ago within the Pilbara. We've been very busy, exploiting that land package. There has been some great success out of that. We've done a great lithium joint venture, and more importantly, we've done a great joint venture with De Grey, and both of those have been successful. We still have work to do in the Pilbara, but they are what we would call early stage projects where we've completed on the ground work and people will see the next stage to go and do what I call scout drilling, 4 or 5 holes. So we've really been, looking for projects that are beyond that kind of initial stage, projects that have had demonstrated soil work or geophysics, and importantly, drilling, where we can now walk in and start drilling. Onslow, which is the Toolunga project's a little bit different, but the New South Wales project have that nature where if you look at the numbers we put out, they've had previous drilling, they're very high grade. Their current owners have pivoted away from those projects for other strategic reasons. So we like them in terms of being able to get in there and start drilling. So they all have some common themes, good jurisdictions, previous history of exploration and in a mining area, high grade, whether it's rock chips, soils, geophysics or drilling, very much open in terms of the potential to grow the current, perceived mineralisation or the current results. And as you mentioned, the JV structure and the tranche structure, they all have in common that we're balancing our expenditure versus the risk as we move down the exploration pathway through these projects. So that's why we haven't done an all-out acquisition. We're able to spend a bit of money, do a bit of drilling. If we don't like them, we can move on, etc. And I think the other thing is we have the team and the capability to be able to work all of those projects. So bottom line, it'll make a more valuable exploration portfolio for Novo Resources.
Okay, I'll post a link to the Novo website so you all can read over these 2 different news releases, one from December 10th, the other from just last night or today, depending what time zone you are in. Let's start with the December 11th news release, the Toolunga project. This is in Western Australia. Give us a background on what work has been done here and what type of target you're targeting at this Toolunga project.
Yeah, so the kind of Toolunga, which is in the Onslow district, so that's kind of south of the Pilbara area. There has been historical mining in some of those areas towards the east. There's the Poulson's high-grade gold mine. We've been looking at this area for a while as an area that we could accumulate a strategic land package. There has been some promising results. We've looked at those results and I think quite exciting. So in this project, it is a little bit down the early stage area, but nonetheless, we plan to go drilling as soon as we can on some of the targets that we've identified. So the way this one has come together, a previous group, private group, had some tenements. Again, they'd pivoted away in terms of interest, and there was some vacant tenement that hadn't been applied for. So we've done both the JV deal as well as gone to the West Australian government and applied for 6 licenses. So that allows us to pick up this 1,500 square kilometres of land package, which is primarily focused on gold. There is intrusion-related gold systems and IOGC type targets, but the area does have the splattering of some copper and base metals. So we think it's an exciting area that we could build up a good position and get on the ground in 2025.
So with this earn-in, we can call it to that 70-30 JV. Not a whole lot of cost, not a whole lot of shares payable here, but what sort of work will you be doing here in the first 12 months? Because that's the time frame you've given yourself.
Yeah, so first up, once we get back on the ground in February, the team will do some more work to validate the geology that we know already, and that will lead us to going drilling probably around April-ish next year. We plan to drill down at Onslow, and there's no impediments to doing that drilling program, good relationships with all the other stakeholders. So pretty exciting. There is, as you said, a cash up front here. This is really just to pay some of the upfront cash that the previous owners have spent on, tenement applications, whatever else. But then the rest of the deal is all through equity shares. So it's a good structure for us, and they get, free carried until we can make successes. So I think it's a really good add-on. It's in our kind of backyard in the northern part of Western Australia, and a very promising area that we think's been neglected.
Yeah, we can see in figure one, it's just a bit west of a lot of the land that you already hold there. Can you give us some more insights into this Onslow district in terms of what other sort of deposits, mines, anything else that's in operation or being explored around what you've now acquired?
Yeah, I suppose for those that get a chance to grab on the website, you'll see that there's a figure location map, but you'll see on that figure the Poulson's mine. That's a very high-grade gold mine. It was in operation, it's been in care and maintenance, but it's just been brought back into operation by Black Cat Syndicate. So that's extremely high-grade gold. And we also point out Mount Clement, which is not only gold occurrences, but high in lithium. So that kind of part of the craton is known to have good mineralisation. It's got a little bit difficult to get there compared to others, but that's a good reason for us to go and have a look where people haven't done before. So very much, in our view, underexplored area of Western Australia.
Okay, let's move on to the more recent news release then from just last night. Moving over to New South Wales. Two different projects acquired here, again, in that earn into a 70-30 JV. Let's start off with this John Bull Gold project. Take us through the history of this asset.
Yeah, so again, we've worked with a group called TechGen Metals, who've been the previous owner of this project. They have pivoted away from New South Wales to other parts of Australia and looking for other different mineral commodities. So they have done some good work. TechGen did drill 17 holes for a bit over 2,000 metres of drilling in 2022 and early in 23. And some really great results, 94 metres at 0.95, which included 66 metres at 1.14 and 68 metres at 1 gram per tonne. So, that's great drilling results. But what's important is to back that up from the geophysics and the soil anomalies. There is a openness, a trend along strike, which is good, and also a depth. So we like the project. We think it's got great potential. It definitely needs the next round of drilling. So that's where we can come in with our optionality and do that drilling. And I definitely encourage people, when they get onto the website, definitely have a look at the good section that is in the picture, and also the good picture that shows the soil positioning. So they're the things that attract to us. You look at the section and you could automatically say, wow, that looks like a good open pit. So that's our focus. We'll be drilling here as soon as we possibly can. It'll probably be late March or April. It's a priority target for us to get on the ground and do some drilling early next year. So again, exciting project. That part of New South Wales is starting to hot up in terms of exploration potential, the New England origin area. So we hopefully in there as first movers looking for opportunities.
Okay, so you're going to be drilling this in the near term, let's say first half of next year. Is it all just around this one area that the company, the past operators had explored, had drilled at?
Yeah, this is the tenement packages that we've picked up for the John Bull project is all the tenements that this company had in New South Wales. So we've picked up all of their New South Wales position. So, and I think it's important to mention, Cory, that These projects just haven't fallen off the truck. We've been looking across Australia for a good 6 months at these type of projects that are drill ready, but importantly, they've got the geology, or they look to have the pathway to be, decent sized projects that can be developed. We're not in the business of looking for projects where you're just going to drill some holes and they're not going to go anywhere. We think that all of these projects have the potential to be really good, which is why it's taken us a while to really kind of find some nice projects.
Well, all of a sudden, three projects within this week. So deals really started to happen at the end of the year. Let's talk about this third project, the Spreadborough project, also in New South Wales. There, it looks like has been quite a bit of historic drilling done on a couple different targets. So take us through this asset and the past work done.
Yeah, so, first thing, this is remote. Spreadborough, for those who know Australia, it's on the very, very northwestern end of New South Wales. It's quite remote. Spreadborough itself is a very small town of, a couple hundred people. Definitely gets extremely hot in summer. So the current owners of this project, Manhattan Corp, they actually own a larger tenement package at Spreadborough than what we've picked up. We've really just focused on the northern part of their tenement package. And again, why only the northern part? Well, that's the part that we think is prospective to be able to do some drilling and build on their results. So again, Manhattan Corp have pivoted to the United States and chasing lithium. So they've done very little work on Manhattan in recent times. But the work that they have done really demonstrated some great soil results, some great drilling results. So, we've seen 30 metres at 4 grams, 16 metres at 13.9 grams per tonne. Gets pretty excited by that. 8 metres at 40.5 grams per tonne. Some really high grade hits. So again, we like this project. There's kind of two little sub projects in the tenement package that we'll chase, and we will get here as soon as we can in the new year. As I said, it's pretty warm, but we've already had a team B on site at this project. They've already done, the first pass assessment, met some of the stakeholders, and we'll build on that late January and February and get drilling as soon as we can. So again, drill ready targets, great prospectivity, looking forwards to, seeing if we can grow the project.
Okay, so it sounds like potentially a couple drill programs starting up in New South Wales in the early part of next year. Mike, what does this mean for the rest of the projects then within your portfolio? We've been talking about a whole lot of other projects outside of that JV with De Grey Mining. Where does that leave the exploration at these other assets?
Yeah, so if we kind of backtrack a little bit, on the edge of the joint venture, we've talked about this previously. Now Northern Star have put in a takeover proposal for De Grey. We don't expect that to change the flavour of work at the moment, and that, transaction will probably close in April or May. At this stage, De Grey will be back on the ground in February drilling. So no change to that. Really exciting stuff for De Grey doing that. Now, we still have, per our Pilbara exploration update last week, a range of early stage projects that we will go drilling, and you'll see that happen in the first half of next year. So we're still, once we kind of do the first pass drilling of some of these new priority projects, you'll see us move back into the Pilbara when it's a bit cooler, and we'll be doing drilling at Balla Balla that we've talked about many times. In the Pilbara update, we recently talked about the antimony or results that we saw at Sherlock. So you'll see us drill some holes there as well. So we'll still be working on the Pilbara, in the first half of next year. So it'll be a very busy first half, hopefully drilling late February-ish, and that'll continue on all the way through to the end of the half. So we're in a good position to really have some great news flow coming through next year. And the gold price still remains high, mate. It's great.
So, Mike, with all this exploration and all these now new projects that you bring in, are you looking for partners on any of these other assets to move them along faster or find other people to drill them?
No, at the moment, we have the whole capability to move forwards on all of these projects. They have part of our strategy is to look for projects that we think are kind of standalone. They'll build enough capacity, and all of those projects have that benefit. Now, if we're successful down the track, who knows where we go. But at the moment, for us to prosecute the exploration programs to do, at the moment, we'll be able to do that ourselves and build on that.
Okay. Mike, we'll wrap it up here. Again, I will post a link to the Novo website so you all can read over those recent news releases, check out the maps of where these assets are, send me any questions you have. And also, look, Mike and I chatted just earlier in the week, actually, talking about the acquisition of DeGray Resources. So if you want to re-listen to that, if you happen to miss it, be sure to check out our website and re-listen to that interview. So Mike, thank you very much again for this update on these new assets. I'll follow up with you as you get exploring on them.
Yeah, thanks, Cory, and I wish everyone a happy Christmas. You'll definitely see Novo. Our team takes a break over this time of year, but we'll be back on board at the end of January, starting to build the logistics to get into the drilling programs. So thanks, everyone.